Hi there, this is Matthew Goff, and I'd like to show you about how I prepare and regulate the pianos that come out of my little showroom here. When pianos like this lovely Yamaha U Series come in, if you've been researching about second-hand Yamahas, you'll know 99% of them come from Japan. They're imported here. Most of the reconditioning work is done in Japan, which is good because they have all the original parts, etc, etc. And then they come into this country and then they're sold on, usually to retailers like myself. A lot of people sell them straight out of the showroom, and that's fine, but for a pedantic qualified piano technician like myself, they're never quite good enough. So I want to show you the extra little bit that I do, and a lot of other technicians and shops do as well, I'm sure, but I'd like to show you a little bit about what I do and what I mean when I say on my website that the pianos are properly regulated and repaired. So a piano is made up of thousands of parts, all of which need to work in sync with each other so you get evenness when you play it. So let me show you a little bit of what I mean. I'm just going to adjust things so you can see. Camera down there a little bit. Check you're getting what I need you to see. I think that's right. So for example, regulation. There's lots of regulation and it takes, a good day really to do it properly, but I'll just show you a little bit of an example of what I mean. So for example, I bet if you go to your current piano and you just play consecutive notes evenly, I bet you'll find there's something like this, maybe not quite as bad. Can you see how they're not in line? Now how can that be even when you play? When you do your scales and your pieces, how can that be even? Okay, so very few pianos are properly regulated after a couple of years because they wear, they go out of shape. And I find that even these Yamahas, when they come in, they're not regulated properly. So for this is just a little example of what you have to do. You have to get all the hammers checking in line. Okay, you get them all checking in line. That's one procedure of about 20 procedures that you do with regulation, but it just shows you how you have to get all the parts working in sync. So once that's done, piano sounds really nice, but usually you have to do things like lightly reshape the hammers. So you carefully individually reshape like this to get rid of the grooves. When a hammer hits a string, it cuts a groove into it. And then when you've done that, for example, and this is hardly ever done when they come in, I'm telling you. So you go through and you find that there's 3 strings to a note in most of the piano, and you'll find that the hammers aren't hitting the strings squarely, so the hammer will hit one string before the others. So you go along and you shape the hammer so that the hammer hits the strings squarely and each string at the same time. Complicated, I'm sorry, but it's difficult to explain in a 5-minute video. And then this is the bit I love. Obviously that's each of the 88 hammers I do that to. And then sort of almost the final part of preparation, having regulated it, having reshaped the hammers, having surfaced the hammers, refaced the hammers to the strings to make sure they're hitting all the strings correctly, everything's working in sync. The final bit is toning. I love this bit, it's my favourite bit. So it's fine, you go along, beautiful, beautiful piano, but you listen carefully. I mean, generally this piano I will take down in tone because I find it a bit bright for a beautiful U3. It should be rich. So I'll go down and I'll take them down. But this D sharp, this note, is definitely louder, let's just say for now, louder, brighter in volume than the ones around it. So don't do this at home. These are needles. If you do this at home, you will ruin your piano. So basically what you do is you very carefully insert the needles into the felt in certain positions while supporting the hammer, and you'll find that one is another one. So I mustn't get carried away or you'll be here for an hour. Still just a little bit bright. And that is toning. Come back. So as you can see, basically, there's a lot more than just getting a piano in, getting it into the showroom and selling it or renting it to someone like you. There's a lot more preparation involved than that, and on these Yamahas, even though they're supposedly ready to go, they're not. So I just wanted to show you what I do and what very little bit of what regulation and preparation is. So I hope that's explained something to you and that you've enjoyed this video. And if you're interested in renting or buying a lovely Yamaha U3 like this one, or U2 over there, or any of the others, got quite a few in here at the moment. A lot of them need some work, so I'm going to be busy this afternoon finishing this one off, toning it, and then I'll get down to some others, and then they'll be ready and prepared. Beautiful piano for you to come and have a look at, I hope. Bye for now.